All right, Shalom. Before I get started, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. And also peace and safety to the Akim that spread across the four corners of the world, that's pushing out this truth with all diligence and also putting their lives on the line to do so. And the brother Cross is out here at Great Millstone, Atlanta, here with the lesson, basically going into where your heart is. We all know, when the scriptures speak about your heart, the Hebrew word for it is la'ah, which means your mind. So, where is your mind at, or your heart, during the times that we're in. We have to, as being prophets of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, we can't be distracted from, worldly matters, things that's going on in our, our lives. You can easily get entangled, within them things, and, put the truth on the back burner, so to speak, but that's, really going, the opposite way, of the way in which we should be going. Scriptures speak about, remembering our first love, in the book of Revelation, so the truth is our first love, man, and we always supposed to treat it as such, So, nevertheless, I'm going to start off in Sirach, or Ecclesiasticus, chapter 39, verse 1. It says, "But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancients, and be occupied in prophecy." You see? So we give our mind, our heart to the law of the Most High, man, which is a job within itself. Especially when you read the book of Ecclesiastes, I believe it's the 12th chapter, when it speaks of the whole duty of man, we've dedicated our lives, made our bodies that living sacrifice to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, to where we could be able to do these things, man. Okay? And when, like we always say, whenever you do a lesson, or, you go out to the highways and byways, or you fellowship with brothers, you start feeling your spirit rise, man. Why? Because this is our first love, our true love, okay? It says, verse 2, "He will keep the sayings of the renowned men, and where subtle parables are, he will be there also." You see? So how do you keep the sayings of renowned men? By speaking the prophecies in the fullness, and really the book. That's having the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Because Yahweh Shai said what? It comes in the volume of the book. Okay? So by keeping these sayings, we're, literally being, fashioned and formed to being many Yahweh Shais, man. That's the importance of doing this work, man. Okay? Verse 3, "He will seek out the secrets of the grave sentences, and be conversing in dark parables." Right? And they're known as parables because, the scriptures aren't for everyone, man. This book isn't for everyone. So the Lord wrote it in parables to where everyone won't be able to understand it. All right? But we have the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the book, are able to understand it, going to, the different languages, different meanings of words, especially when you're dedicated to it, when you're locked in. Okay? So from here, I'm going to go to the book of Matthew, chapter 6 and verse 20. "But lay up yourselves treasure in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doeth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. Verse 21. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. You see? So our minds, are literally on another planet. Versus these people, man. Is what are these people thinking of? Halloween, the holiday is coming up. Wickedness, and so on and so forth. But our mind is literally on the kingdom of heaven, and everything that comes before that and after. All right. We thinking of Jacob's trouble. We think of Yahweh Shai. We think of, like the scripture said in Sirach 39, the renowned men of the scriptures, and the things that they went through and fashioned it to our lifestyles, man, and the things that we're going to have to go through, So we on a whole another level than these people, man. That's why it's kind of hard to even have conversations and deal with them, because we so far ahead of them. All right. Because our heart is occupied in the prophecies, I'm going to read verse 21 again. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. You see? So that's where our heart is, man. Oh, if you look to the right of the screen, I have it pulled up in the BBE version. It says, verse 21, for where your wealth is, there will your heart be. You see? So true wealth is what? Like the scriptures say, wisdom is more precious than rubies. So our wealth is in the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, because that's what's going to literally save our lives. Not money, not fame, not, women. These scriptures was ultimately going to save our lives. Lord willing, we continue, in the way that we're going, So I just wanted to briefly touch on that. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I'm going to go ahead and close up by giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And until the next time, Shalom.